Hey there, everybody. Robert Taylor with Wonderscape Creations, continuing on with our open world series, focusing currently on PCG. So, as you can tell, I've gone ahead and I've moved my spline, made it a little bigger so that, we're covering a decent amount of height. That way, we can see when we cut off the height, because that's what I'm all about. So, obviously, let's move this stuff over this way. This isn't really needed, especially while we have debug on, because debug is going to show us no matter what. So that's what we'll continue to do. Just leave debug on until we're done. We don't have to keep hitting the D button. So obviously we are going to create ourselves another subgraph. So PCG. And this one's going to be called PCG underscore create height. TLCOA. Now, there are several ways of doing this. Obviously, just like there is for the thinning out from, the edge. I am doing it this way simply because it is how I could figure it out. I am not too proud to admit that there's just some things that I have not figured out yet. So let's go ahead and do this the way that I have it made. And in the future, once I figure it out, I'll make a new video and replace this one with it. All right. So, first things first, let's go ahead and add ourselves a new entry. Bring that down here. Oh, of course, I'm in the output again. I don't know why I keep doing that. There we go. And we're going to name this one use height bool. It'll be an attribute set. And then everything else is simply duplicated. So we can get the minimum height. H-E-I-G-H-T. Sometimes I can spell. Duplicate. Whoops. Use height bool. Yeah. So we got minimum height. And then we have maximum height. Then we have, whoops, let's not do it that way. Duplicate. Then we have fade off height. And finally, we will have fade off. There we go. These are all the nodes we're going to need. The first thing we're going to get is a branch. And obviously, that'll go right in there like this. And that's all you have to do in order to determine whether it gets used or not. So I'm going to come over here, throw this one into the output pin. Oh, no, it doesn't go to the output pin. It goes into difference pin, which we will make binary and discrete. There we go. Place that right there. Now then, next thing we want is an ability filter, not ability. I don't know why I said ability. Attribute filter range. Now, this is where we're going to get the minimum and the maximum. So what I mean here is the min height is going to go into filter min. Max height is going to go into filter max. And B is going to go into here. So we got this going here. Whoops. I'm going to place that right here. Place you down there. Now we want this, the target attribute, to be the position, and then we're going to add period Z. So now we only care about the Z position. That's what we're looking for. And then within here, we want to name these thresholds. Let me see what I have them named as. Let's get the height info. Then I'm going to hit A. So it is called minimum height and maximum height. Awesome. I'm going to come back in here. And for the minimum threshold, we will name it minimum height. And then in the maximum, it'll be maximum height. Awesome. And that is everything for that one. So now we are going to get everything. That should have been right there. Silly me. This does go right here. Anyways, this will go into source B. Output B will go into the source of difference. And then it's just not my day. And source inside filter is going to go into source. We don't want everything. We just want what's in here to go inside the different source. All right. Now we want an attribute filter. We're going to place that in the outside right here. And we're going to make sure that this is greater than position dot Z. And then this is going to be maximum height. That's what the threshold attribute is. That's what it's going to look for, which is right here. So we'll place that in the filter. Don't know why I expanded it. Okay, we're good here. And now we need a final range, at which point we are going to get another one of these. I'm just going to copy and paste it. Inside filter. And then this is going to be, open these. The maximum height will go where minimum height is. And then maximum height will be replaced with fade off height. Now then, filter min will be the maximum height. And then this will be fade off height. Awesome. We are doing pretty good here. Lastly, let's pull this out a little bit. Inside of this, we want an attribute noise. And we want it to fix on density. Okay. And then you guys know what comes after attribute noise. Density filter. which we want it to be inverted. Fall off will go into the lower bound. Okay. Then that will go into the difference. And hit save. Now then, obviously nothing has changed because we need to add our new graph. Let's go ahead and do that. Create height, drag that in, subgraph node. We will place that right here. And now we need to come over here, which we have height info already. So I'm going to grab this param and attribute filter that has the ID, copy it, and paste it. At which point on the N word, I will right click and do height info. There we go. So now we got ourselves some height info. We have 5 parameters that we need. Copy and paste. One more. Now then, come over here for A. We will have everything that we need right down here, as you can see. So this first one, use height info. Place that into the bool. And then this one will be minimum height. We have maximum height. Then we have fade off height. Fade off. Again, make sure that all these variables are spelt identically. Sorry, they're called attributes in here, are spelt identically to what's down here. And then you shouldn't have any issues. So now, if we disconnect this, connect that. So no errors have showed up. So we know we did a good job. And obviously, nothing has changed yet because we don't have height checkmarked in our data asset. So I'm going to go ahead and open this up. And because we got these giant boulders and it'll be easy to see, we will start there. Come over here, come to height info, and I check mark that. Look at that, they disappeared. Everything else stayed though. They're also gone from down there because the minimum, let's make this smaller, is set to 3000. So if I put it at 0, all right, so it looks like it goes into the negatives a bit. Intriguing. Sorry, first let me make sure that this works. Hmm. 1 minute. My apologies. All right, so it wasn't the code. It was just it needed massive numbers because, you know, massive world. So it's all been brought back. So if I drop this down to, say, 20,000, you know what, let's drop this down to 18,000. Oh, 18,000. Okay. So 15, got rid of it. So let's go 17. All right. Then I put this at 20,000. Obviously, we're not going to see much of a difference because of there's so few of these giant boulder ones. However, we do have a bunch of smaller ones. So obviously, let's make this 18,000. We'll make this 15,000. Now if I go with 0, yeah, I'm gonna have to do this with something with more numbers, so that's fine. So let's go with the green. Let's find green. There we go. Height info, I'm going to check mark that. Obviously, a bunch of it's going to disappear. That's fine. Now that we know that the minimum needs to be negative 10,000. That'll bring all the trees back down there. To a point, anyways. $15. There we go. I brought those back down. Now then. We have this at 9,000 to 8,000. 1, 0. Let's find somewhere. I swear this works. Give me a second. Alright, sorry about that. So I did solve the problem. Me and my delirium missed the silliness. That was my mistake. So right here, there was a difference node. We don't want a difference node. We want a merge node. That way is adding this with this. That way we get both of them. That is within the create height graph. So when we do that, you'll see now, if I come here, it's hard to tell with the red because there's so few. So I'll go with the green, especially because I made the green so prevalent. But I'll fix that down the road. If we come down here to the height info, and I'm going to change this to something a little less extreme here. So let's go to 8,000. So it rose that back up there. As you can see, there's a few green spots up here. And if I change it to 1, now it increases. 0.2. Now there's even fewer. So that's what I've done. That is the height. I can't believe I made that mistake, but you know, it happens. So that was showing a different way in order to go past the bounds. So essentially, if you didn't want the fade to start here, but you wanted it to go outwards, you now know how to have a starting point. But anyways, that is everything that we're going over today. Well, not today. With this episode, in the next episode, we will hit the landscape. Thank you so much for watching and for your patience, and I will see you in the next episode.